What's good? What's good? This is going to be an extremely controversial video. So I want to try to proceed as delicately yet precisely as I can. It's going to be difficult, so please give me a little latitude as I present to you this subject. You, as an individual, have the right to defend yourself from the police, from the government, from federal agents, up to and including the point of unaliving said bootlicker. Yes, I realize what I just said. I want to be clear. I am not advocating for the use of force or the initiation of the use of force against tyrants, but I am advocating for the use of self-defense. We have been conditioned to believe that we are not allowed to defend ourselves from the state. That is wrong, both from a legal standpoint and from a moral standpoint. Legally, if you care about laws in our extraordinarily corrupt system, there is case law precedent to support self-defense when a cop or a federal agent is attacking you. Specifically, I want to make it clear, if a cop begins to attack you in the commission of their duty when they're trying to enforce a law where there is no victim, when they're trying to create, oh shit, I love how this video was flowing and then I lost it. So victimless crimes, that's the point I'm trying to get to. When a cop intervenes on people engaging in victimless crimes and then tries to attack you, you have the right to defend yourself. What is a victimless crime? Think about it for a second and then let me explain to you. A victimless crime is a crime where no person was injured. No person was injured, yet they say a crime was committed. And I know this is going to really ruffle conservatives' feathers, but I think we need to talk about it. I really do, and I hope I can touch base with some conservatives to flesh this out more. The best example I can give right now is the war on drugs, and how we have literally thousands upon thousands of innocent black, brown, white, and yellow people, though in different proportions, I will acknowledge that, imprisoned because they decided to trade money for marijuana. Very simple answer. But that is a victimless crime that has been very, very, very targeted in our culture over the last 100 years. Now, if you are a police officer or a federal agent and you somehow see this, right now my channel is small, but you know what? Who knows what life can bring? If you see this, let me ask you, morally, do you agree with enforcing these victimless crime laws? Do you feel good about it? Honestly, if you do, you're what we call a bootlicker. And if you decide to initiate the use of force against people who have committed no actual wrongdoing, prepare for them to begin to defend themselves. I want to raise awareness to the fact that if you want to be a tyrant, you should be met with self-defense. Now, if you're a police officer who doesn't feel good about enforcing these victimless crime laws, can you find an alternative form of employment? Can you retire? A recent theme in my videos has been divestiture from the matrix, divestiture from the toxic paradigm we live in. If you are concerned about being forced or encouraged to enforce laws that are unethical, you should leave. I'm granting you compassion by saying I don't want you to be on the receiving end of violence. But if you are unethically going out into the world and putting violence out into the world, what do you think you're going to get? Being a police officer in this day and age is not about supporting the citizens. You are a thug for the state. And I can totally understand how 20 years ago, you might not have realized that. 20 years ago, right at the beginning of like the internet takeoff, when information was still highly compartmentalized and classified, I can understand it. But we are at a point now where if you go seeking the information, you will begin to understand that the state is corrupt beyond repair. And so while I always shit on the left, this is a point that we can agree on. Another victimless crime: mask mandates, vaccine mandates. That is absolute bootlicker behavior if you are an enforcement officer and you are going about enforcing those. Does that feel good? Does it? I don't think so. You should be looking for alternative forms of employment. If you are someone who agrees with me, but is not a police officer, but you know police officers, wife, husband, brother-in-law, sister-in-law, aunt, uncle, niece, nephew, you should be encouraging them and supporting them to leave that profession. And I realize all of this is controversial, and I say this, none of this is a call for violence, but it is a call for people to stand up. We as the people need to exert an upward pressure to the statists to tell them that we're not going to take it anymore. After a few cases of people defending themselves from tyrants, I think we will see a lot of police officers rethink their career. I think it will wake a lot of people up. I hope it doesn't have to get to that point, but I think ultimately that's what needs to happen. There need to be some serious cases of people defending themselves from these tyrants, so more and more people will wake up. It is okay to defend yourself from tyrants. And I realize in this society, the narrative that they have cultivated, that creates a lot of cognitive dissonance, that sentiment, that sentence, because we've been so brainwashed to obey. But now is the time to disobey the state. Defend yourself. You have sovereignty. You have agency. You have autonomy. Defend yourself. Much love, y'all.